Cube is currently leading 1-0. And Circuit Breaker. I don't think I've cast this map yet today.
Oh, I know what that map is.
No games to
I
cast.
know this map.
Hang on, I want to address this real quick. It's not that there's no games to cast for STARBOW, guys. If you go join the STARBOW chat channel, there's literally like hundreds of people asking each other for games. But because we're in a tournament, we can't just cast random games. We have to wait for specific matches. Just want to get that out of the way so there's no confusion.
Yeah, okay.
But okay, if you want to kick off the introductions.
On the top left, as the purple Zerg, it is Heusa.
I'm pretty sure it's Heusa.
EUSA.
On the ESL bracket.
Alright.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. Heusa? Heusa? I don't know what it is. But guys, his opponent in the top right is the Yellow Protoss from the clan Gosu, Cube. And he's up 1-0 in this series. I just realized I have to score wrong. Let me go fix that real quick. There we go. It's a best of 3 in the quarterfinals, and you know what? I think you might actually be right. I thought he had an American flag, but it appears he has a Swedish flag. Yeah. So you were right. It's not Heusa. The Canadian non-American in me is upset. But you know, PvZ can be an interesting. I don't know. I personally think PvZ is a little bit more interesting, mostly because the Protoss dynamic to the game is so vastly different than that of StarCraft 2. Again, yeah, I'm sorry for the basic talks for those that have been watching for a while, but this is STARBOW. It's a mod for StarCraft 2. It's slightly different. It's like the abridged version of StarCraft 2, where it's mostly similar, but with some very distinct differences. Number one being, of course, force fields no longer in the game, so you can rejoice or cry about that, depending on your race, I guess. But most importantly than that, Warp Tech is not only almost, quite frankly, useless and ineffective, it's at a much later tier in the game. So there's no instant warp-ins of like 15 units.
I don't know what to say right now.
I know, there's not a lot of, like, you can't, there's no metagame to discuss. It's like, well, we might see our Zerg player go for that quick 4-base standard open. Like, there's none of that yet. That's what's so cool about this. Is why I actually really like casting it. Because, like, it's all new to everybody.
That's true. Again, the Forge goes down first. Even on a, you know, a 4-player map, these guys always want to go for the Forge first. So far, we haven't had any early pulls from the Zerg players. No one's, well, except for that one cannon rush that tried to happen. I didn't see many players trying to cheese their way to victory in this, which honestly would be kind of lame, just because, like, there's no prize, first of all.
Well, there's no monetary prize, but there's honor, there's glory, there's the bragging rights of being the first ever STARBOW champion. I
guess so, but you know, and everyone wants to see what all of STARBOW can do. If you do like a 10 pool or whatever, then it's like a regular 10 pool, like nothing's changed.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So it's not the greatest.
Oh, no vision on this hatchery will of course limit this third base, as the pylon is on the way, and of course cannon will be following this up shortly after. But you know, that's okay. We're talking about not doing cheese, not trying to like destroy the game, and that's exactly what's happening here. He's going to deny this third, but you can play off 2 bases as a Zerg player. It's not the end of the world.
You can. I'm a little surprised he took the third over there. He's not expanding towards his opponent though, so I guess that's why. And he will not be seeing this. He has the links out, but he's not checking.
You know, Lakon in chat says it best. No race is balanced in STARBOW because no one has any idea how to play it yet. That's very true. And that's kind of what makes it a little more fun to watch. But one of the favorite things I've obviously seen so far today that we got to see earlier, 1 HP for the win,
First blood.
was, of course, roaches being used to great effect. Definitely a difficult thing for, I think, Protoss players to deal with if they don't see it coming. Burrowed roaches are just so nasty, and of course, they're no longer that, like, tier 1 cheap unit, but in fact, they are much later down on the tech tree. Hydralisk now being the earlier tech choice of a unit.
Oh, is he going to cancel the hatch in time? No!
No. So, that's unfortunate, but just like regular cannon rushes, this as well for Cube is a bit of an investment, and the nice thing that you can relax on as a Zerg player is you know there's not going to be warp tech behind this anytime soon. You don't have to worry about like 11 zealots being warped in at your third without you realizing it. That's
true. That's very important. If that actually survives, it doesn't really matter. It's not a proxy pollen to be used later, it's just buildings over there. We do have a fairly early lair coming out for Heusa. It was like 5 minutes or something. That was super early. Now this is common in Brood War. very early layers. But you know, people have so far. I feel like we've seen more people going towards the StarCraft 2. You know, other than BCQD, of course, he was a Broodor player, so that explains him.
Do you think, by the way, I'm wondering, Chrono Boost has got to be, it's got to be global, right? Like, could he Chrono Boost the cannons from all the way over here and like make them do the faster attack?
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool thing to think about. Like, if as Heusa comes to clean it up, all of a sudden he's losing all of his units instead of a small handful of lings.
Well, he's not even trying to clean it up, and
Ooh,
that's actually no problem.
Okay, so the Corsair guys, it does an area of effect damage. It attacks really quick. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it doesn't have any extra abilities beyond that. I don't believe. Like, I don't think there's Graviton Beam. Like, it's not trying to be the Phoenix or anything like that. It's just a quick air-to-air only unit.
In Broodor, it had Disruption Web, I think it was called, but no one ever used it.
Well, that was Blinding Cloud nowadays, right? So.
I honestly don't remember what it did. It just looked like it.
Like, you couldn't attack from it. Like, that's what the illusion the comparison I'm trying to make for those who don't know what it was. It was basically Blinding Cloud for Corsairs.
Look to shut up. It's not actually on the Corsair now, so it's completely useless to look it up. But I'm doing it anyways.
Look, I know I'm dumb about like 99% of the things, but someone who play custom games like 100% of the time. Right.
Okay. It also prevents buildings from attacking. That's what because you used it in the campaign. On,
you
like,
disabled like the cannons and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's coming in. It's a whole thing is that it has to kill overlords.
There's none to be had here. Unfortunately, the Queen does turn on the Enrage ability, as she can no longer innately attack, and we'll drive it back for the time being. Of course, that's kind of a frustrating thing for Heusa to have to deal with, because now he's actually got to actively protect his overlords. And if they clump, it becomes even worse, because, of course, as we stated before, they do splash damage. But Scourges are out for the first time today, and guys, like we said, they are basically banelings with wings. They're so cute!
They look like Halloween props.
Alright, well, moving across the map, they, of course, like banelings, get used upon their attacks, so you can't follow up more, but... the Mutalisks are going to be a pretty prey to the Corsairs. He's got to clear these out with those Scourges first.
Yep. That's the whole dynamic between these two. And the Corsairs want to try and hover over the cannons right now, as there aren't any Dragoons on the way, and not die to the Scourge, because it's very important. It's literally your only defense against the Mutas right now are these Corsairs. They need to not be targeted by the... It's always so close. But, you can actually attack down the Scourge if you're good enough with Micro, but there's a lot of probes going down as the cannon is not yet done. Well, I guess you're talking to the cannon, so...
Scourge are pretty quick, too, so he's got to be careful. Like, one small misclick. Still zoning them out. I like this move. Pulling them back.
I'm not sure how much practice he has against, kiting against Baneling, against Scourge. Well, basically so I guess he's a little hesitant to try.
Oh, trying to get those attacks off. They are suicide bombers. Now, I don't know. Do they do splash damage in STARBOW?
I don't know.
Because if I recall, Scourges didn't, right? Well, it looks like...
Oh my god!
A big collision goes off, and I don't think they did splash damage. It didn't look like it.
Damn, I thought I saw someone said they do splash damage, because 3 can take out two scientists or something.
If they do, I'm completely wrong. It just didn't look like it from the way that attack went. But that was a giant cluster... F-word, to say the least.
Oh god, that was perfect. That was... Oh, I can't believe he messed up that badly. So now his prologue is still under attack. The most important thing I feel is that the Mutas... There are still a few more coming, but he also got a Hydralisk in. He's getting the upgrades for the Hydralisk as well.
We'll get to see. Smaller amounts. Oh no, he didn't engage. Dude!
You can take down Scourge like this. I'm not sure why he's not trying to target them.
Yeah. Like, you see, even chat's jaded. Like, we don't know whether they do splash or not. I really want to find out. But he's going for the one Corsair that's not near the other two, so it's like...
Let it die. Come on, Cube, for the cast.
Yeah, for science, Cube, for science! Of course, he can't hear us, but...
There he goes. Okay.
Well,
that was splash.
Yeah, I know, there's nothing nearby. A small Zealot attack here at the third will shut this down, and of course, cannons still poison the other base, prevent it from going down. Mutalisks are... they're kind of nice to have. They attack downwards, and the Zealots can't shoot upwards, but as we see, still don't exactly kill them in the fastest of manners.
I'm gonna wiki this, by the way. So
go for it. I'd love to find out, because I actually have no idea if that's the case or not. But okay, so both players have traded their arrow, but still investing here in the Corsairs. Cube, it's kind of the same mentality. You just get a lot of anti-air, fine. You got air dominance, there's nothing that your opponent can do as far as air goes. And what gets really scary is if he can't protect his overlords, then you can just straight up lose this game from a supply block. But getting in here once again with the Mutalisks on top of the Proto line, do start sniping some of these, but there's so many Corsairs, and Mutalisks do clump up so nicely for them. That small little area of effect damage going off here. 19 workers have been picked off by Heusa so far, and as Zombie Grub said, like, you typically want to take these expansions further away, and whether you want to classify it as a ninja base or not. Ooh.
Well, that actually is. That actually might
like
be a little hidden.
Well, no, I was gonna say what's nice though is the fact, yeah, exactly, it's hidden, that he hasn't seen it more than anything else. But I can't tell if that's splash or not. Like, it's bugging the heck out of it.
And it didn't say, like, it has the damage, but it doesn't say, like, you know, splash or radius or anything like that. But it doesn't do it for other banelings either. So I don't know.
110 damage though. Like,
it's really
that
really,
seems like an insane amount to be splash.
Yeah. This base, by the way, I say it's actually hidden because usually if you're gonna get the base in Brood War, you get it like on your side of the map, but just in the other expansion. You know, not his side of the map, but I guess it's gonna mine out really quickly and it won't be discovered. So it works either way.
Okay, so this seems to be the closest thing to a reliable source. Apparently on October 13th, they changed it so scores do splash, according to Team Liquid. So there we go.
Okay.
We got some math stuff down, or science, or I don't even.
Science, yeah. We do have the Hydralisk on the way, which is a very common follow-up. Actually, Lurkers could also be a follow-up, and it actually does have the Lurker dens, so we could see that. You could start pretty much camping the outside of your base. Circuit Breaker is interesting because it has these two bridges. It's not like Destination, which I don't know if STARBOW has Destination, where the two bridges are literally right on top of your natural, but it's still very important that you don't get stuck in here as either race, you know. You don't want to be.
What's kind of interesting too, worth noting, is like I like this Hydralisk and the Lurker transition even more because there's 14 Corsairs. That's a whole lot of army supply that can't shoot down.
Yeah, and he's continuing to make them. I feel like he's kind of stuck in the mentality of like you know, Phoenixes versus Mutas, and that's just not the case in Brood War, and apparently not in STARBOW either. He doesn't need to make any more. They're not going to be useful over a certain amount because they're only going to be useful for, you know, taking down overlords after taking the Mutas, and that, like, you just protect him with Spore Crawler, right? So I am a little worried that he has not gotten anything else except Corsairs.
Alright, so small little explanation real quick, guys. Lurkers do more from Hydralisks in the same way that Banelings come from Zerglings. They can only attack while burrowed, though. But when they do attack, they've got a huge sort of, not really, I don't know, it's kind of splash damage. It's more like a line attack. You'll see it come out here in a second. Yeah, they're just chunking through the ground, so... Hydralisk will get involved in the fight. Last Mulus will go down, but that's okay because he didn't really need them at this point. Slamming to the front door. There's a lot of Zealots, but where are they? There's 12 available earlier, and that's just 3? Maybe I misread that number, but everything depowered here in the front lines, including Warp Tech getting canceled, but Warp Tech, as we know, is not that good. Heusa just appears to be pushing in with a very dominating, well, Dark Templar on the way, actually. That's going to... Oh, you know what? This is actually going to work out pretty nicely because there's not going to be any detection. The Corsairs are killing the Overlords. They're going to kill any Overseers. Without detection, the Dark Templar should be able to clean this up.
Sorry that you don't know this, but Corsair DT was very, very popular in Brood War specifically because of that.
Yeah,
and you do need Spore Crawlers to deal with that, so this could be a way for Cube to get back into this game, but he is now down to just one mining base, barely even. It's getting mined out. So even if he kills all the Hydralisk, like, Heusa is still on 4 base.
Yeah. Oh, the Dark Templar actually getting choked in here, too. So it looks like the Overlords have been cleared up. Oh my god, so supply blocked. But you know what? Even though he might be on 4 base, he's not going to be able to make anything new. Cube saying, you know what, I can't deal with this either way, though. Good game is going to be called, and Heusa will tie up the series now 1-1 and take us to game number 3.
What was funny is that he didn't have detection either for the Lurkers. So.
Oh, that's a good point. Neither could...
They survived.
Mutually assured destruction.